Guillermo del Toro, famous director notable for works such as Pan's Labyrinth and the Hellboy films, has come out with a new movie which many people on the internet had severe doubts on whether or not it will turn out well. Weeks before the film's release, many people over the internet made claims that the movie will flop and it's rip-off of such things like Power Rangers or Transformers. But I'm here to tell you, it's better than you think it is. I mean, this movie is awesome. Simply awesome. The film takes place in the near future where Earth has been invaded by creatures we designate as the Kaiju, which is Japanese for Great Beast. Since the first invasion, our conventional weapons have little to no effect on them, so the world governments decide to pull all the resources they have at their disposal to create giant mech weapons known as the Jaegers. They are designed to have a two-pilot system where the minds of both pilots are linked. Doing this allows them to control both hemispheres of the robot's mind, since using one pilot would be too much to handle and will essentially fry his or her mind. Also, if you happen to bring any emotional baggage to this mind meld, it will affect the performance of the Jaeger, so there must be a perfect synchronization between the two pilots. Despite this complex operating system, these impressive and overwhelming fighting machines are our only means of defense as more and more of the Kaiju enter our world. I'm so glad the internet was wrong about this movie because the film is awesome on so many levels. You have great performances from people like Idris Elba, who plays Marshal Pentecost, a veteran soldier who knows the pain that this war against monsters has done to the world. Charlie Hunnam also does a great job as Riley, a veteran Jaeger pilot who suffers the loss of his brother and fellow co-pilot during a battle in this devastating war. And then there's Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny, who actually just plays his character from the show, but he's actually a really funny kaiju biologist and brings most of the comic relief. There is a whole cast of characters that you really feel connected to, and you definitely hope that they survive this war. It goes without saying that the effects in this movie blow your mind. The Jaegers are giant machines that have so much power behind them, and the level of detail that went into their creation just made them even more impressive. Then there's the Kaiju, who all have a relative look to them, but each has a look as terrifying as the next. Each one seems to have the weight to them as they plow through buildings and Jaegers that give them a realistic presence in this world. No expense was wasted in the special effects in this movie, which I love to see. There are moments where the action halts and things slow down a bit, which is understandable. If things got too overwhelming, then the action, I would imagine, would bore the audience. These parts tend to go on for quite a while, but then the action picks up right away. This film is a must-see. If you're a fan of such anime programs like the Gundam series, Robotech, or even Neon Genesis Evangelion, you'll get some serious enjoyment out of this. Or if you happen to be a fan of Tokusatsu, Japanese television that falls under things like Godzilla or Super Sentai, with dynamic action and with the use of a fair amount of special effects. Hell, if you're not a fan of anime or Tokusatsu, I'll bet you'll get thoroughly entertained by the fact you're watching giant robots fighting giant monsters. Pacific Rim accomplished what it set out to do, to be an original and outstanding film that will attain almost all audiences, and perhaps be a step forward for more movies based on giant robot animes like the ones I mentioned before. In the future, I would love to see an Evangelion feature, wouldn't you? My rating for Pacific Rim is an 8 out of 10. Well, that's going to do it for me. Once again, I'm the Popcorn Jockey, and Pacific Rim is what's playing.